Hello, everybody. Welcome to LA Dodger Report, State of the Dodgers. Here we are at the trade deadline. At least it's coming up fast, and we'll see what the Dodgers are going to do. For the past couple of seasons, the Dodgers have been content to not make any big moves and to hope that that would be good enough for a World Series. Well, we've seen how that played out. And also what we've seen is the unfortunate injury to Clayton Kershaw, which I imagine is going to force the Dodgers' hand this year. At least it should. The initial reports on Kershaw are that he's got a stiff back, some kind of back tightness. They're claiming it's unrelated to what kept him out for 2 months last season. Maybe it is unrelated. Maybe it's not. They could be feeding us some smoke because they want to keep the team and the fans' hopes alive. They could be keeping other teams from thinking that the Dodgers are wounded. They don't want other teams to smell blood in the water. Those are all possibilities. The other possibility is it's true. It's not related, and it is simple back tightness. But something that we might want to watch out for is that Kershaw may come out and try to compensate perhaps and then re-aggravate that herniated disc. Anything can happen when you're dealing with the back. And I'm hoping that the Dodgers are just going to play this like a worst case scenario and say we need to make a move and we need to do something to replace Kershaw in case he doesn't come back. Because let's face it, without Kershaw, we've got Alex Wood, Rich Hill, and then over the cliff. What have you got? Maeda, Ryu, McCarthy. McCarthy's already on the DL, and Maeda and Ryu are both up and down 50-50 kind of pitchers. Maeda did not come through in the playoffs last season, and I'm not 100% sure he's going to come through this year. So, is Wood and Hill and question mark enough to take us and win a World Series? I don't even know if that's enough to hold on to a 10.5 game lead in the National League West. So if I'm the Dodgers, I'm making a move. You can't lose anyway, because if Kershaw comes back full strength, now you're talking about a very, very good rotation. And it would be good if the Dodgers add a righty to that starting rotation. I like, Kershaw, Hill, Wood. I love those guys, but let's face it, they're all southpaws, and it would be good if the Dodgers had a mean-throwing, consistent starter that was right-handed, just because. All right, so who's out there like that? My vote is Dodgers go get Yu Darvish. Get Yu from Texas. Texas is floundering and they're selling. And Yu Darvish would be good to acquire. What is Texas going to want? How's that trade going to look? Well, the Dodgers have some prospects that are on every other team's lips. They want Willie Calhoun. They want Alex Verdugo. They want that pitcher, what's his name? Walker Buehler. These guys are all top-rated prospects, and not everybody wants them all in one package, and the Dodgers would be silly to put them all in one package. But reality dictates that the Dodgers are going to have to do away with one of them at least. So, who do they choose to trade away? We're looking for that starting pitcher in this scenario that we're talking about today. So as far as I'm concerned, Walker Buehler is off the table. Let's remember that Yu Darvish is going to be a free agent next season, so you're basically looking for a rental. We're basically looking at a guy that's going to help us finish the season, get us to the promised land, get us to the top of the World Series championship mountain, and then he's going to play free agent games, and we'll be looking at big money depending upon how Darvish finishes out. So I would not trade away a top starting pitcher prospect for a 2-month rental. No. Buehler off the table, which brings us to Calhoun or Verdugo. Lots of people are hot on Alex Verdugo. Me, not so much. A few reasons. Verdugo plays in the outfield, and we've seen him play at Dodger Stadium. Short sample size for sure, but I haven't been impressed with what I've seen at the big league level. Not only that, but the Dodgers are stockpiled on outfielders. So I don't see a whole lot of reason to hang on to another giant outfielder prospect. What about Willie Calhoun? His bat is tearing it up in the minor leagues. He's on a hitting streak, and he's blasting home runs left and right. Calhoun is doing very well with the bat. He's a little iffy on defense. He commits a few errors more than we want to see. I think I forgot to mention, Willie Calhoun plays second base. So you'd be looking at holding on to a second baseman prospect. We've got Forsythe playing second base now. And speaking of not so impressed, I'm not 100% impressed with Forsythe. That said, Forsythe is playing solid defense at second base these days, so I'm very happy with that. And he occasionally gets the hit. He's been hitting this weekend. He was hot. But before that, not so much. So Forsythe is showing a little something at second base. He also will be eligible to skip at the end of the season. I think the Dodgers have an option to keep him, so we'll have to see how the Dodgers go with him there. But if they choose not to keep Forsythe, we've got Calhoun in the wings, and a power hitter he is, versus Forsythe, who is not. He's not showing it anyway. I'd love to have a power hitting second baseman. So my money is on hang on to the prospect Calhoun, hope that his defense gets a little better, and trade away Verdugo, because we've still got a flux. We've still got a whole bunch of outfielders there that we can play with. Speaking of a whole bunch of outfielders, I might even consider trading away Jock Peterson. I love Jock, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't really lived up to the potential. Now, we said that for a few years about Yasiel Puig, and I did not want to see us trade Puig. And look, Puig has begun to come through on a consistent basis, and he's a power-hitting monster for us right now. Here's the difference between Puig's and Jock. Hold on to them because of the potential. Puig's potential was always here. Jock Peterson's potential seems to be like here. So even if Jock plays up to what he looks like, he's just not, even if he maxes out, he's not going to get there. He's just not going to make it. So I see Jock Peterson as a possible trade piece. It wouldn't hurt me so much. I wouldn't be against it. So that's a little bit of my wild card for the trades. All right. What else? That's about it. I say Yu Darvish, keep Buehler, keep Calhoun, and Verdugo can be traded away. He's expendable. That's my opinion. Now let's get my opinion on a beer, right? All right. So today we've got Guinness Rye Pale Ale. I pulled out this rye ale today because if you recall in our last beer review, it was also a rye ale, and I liked it very much. It was from California. So we're going to see how this Guinness out of Ireland stands up to that California rye IPA. So let's check it out, shall we? All right, here we go. Let's get a pour. Guinness, straight up from Ireland. Here you go, all you shamrockers and Blarney Stoners. Let's check this one out. I can smell it from here. I'll tell you what, already the big difference between this beer and that California one was that this has a big rosé. We learned that word last time. This has a big smell. floral, sweet. I like it. Let's check out the taste. Now, it should be a little dry. I should pick up some rye and some malt. The last beer was very well balanced, and we'll see how this goes down. Oh, to correct myself, the last beer was a rye IPA. This is a rye ale. So they're going to be different, but let's still see how that rye plays out. I definitely got the malt on top. And that rye is giving me a dry finish. I really enjoy this beer. Check out the color. Pretty dark. That's that malt that's darkening it up. We don't have much of a veil, as they say. There's no clinging veil to the glass. But it's got a very crisp finish. Crisp, dry finish. Very quick. So it kind of makes it very drinkable. You almost want another beer. You almost want another swig quickly because that last drink is all gone. And I want to feel this wonderful beer. It doesn't leave a lot of taste on the mouth. Initially, high taste on the roof of your mouth. Very good. No citrus here. No hops flavor here if you're looking for that kind of thing. Once again, it's the rye and the malt that we're picking up. The malt on the roof of my mouth. And a very dry finish. This is a very good beer. For, once again, a very good summer beer. And that's what we're looking for these days, right? So, Guinness Rye Pale Ale, 5% ABV. This is pretty good. Just like a trade for Yu Darvish. All right, so that's it. We'll see what the Dodgers do in the upcoming days. Thanks for joining me. Peace, everybody.